So here we are at Alton Towers, where 24 men are trying to be Britain's strongest man and win the Energizer battery trophy. They can all lift a washing machine, that's easy. But how many of them have been inside one? So the 24 men are all competing for the Energizer battery trophy, and 2 are through to the final already after the first heat. Brian Bell and Graham Mullins waiting to see who'll join them in the final. And in Heat 2, all human life is here. A chef, a gym owner, a TV researcher, a joiner, a mechanic and a prison officer. Glenn Ross is 28 and he's already Ireland's strongest man. Rod Dixon's 25. His gym is called Samson and Delilah. Colin Bryce, just 24, the youngest man in this Heat 2. Stuart Murray, 27, one of Britain's representatives in last year's World's Strongest Man. Alan Turner, 42, the oldest man in the competition. And John Kiss, he's 30, he lists his favourite food as anything. Well, this event's called the Farmer's Walk, simple enough. Pick up these 2 oxygen bottles, combined weight getting on for 500 pounds, carry them 40 metres, put them down, and then your arms drop off. And we'll start in the main square in front of the castle here at Alton Towers with your commentator, Paul Dickinson.
Great atmosphere here this morning at Alton Towers as John Kiss, the first competitor, comes out. Johnny Kiss from Hayes in Middlesex. Prison officer, learned his trade in strongman competitions by working with former World's Strongest Man Gary Taylor. And this is Colin Bryce from Glasgow. Highland Games expert, but a novice in these sort of strongman events. Huge Glenn Ross, the heaviest man in Britain's Strongest Man this year, 180 kilograms. But what sort of speed has he got? Rob Dixon, comparative novice as well, from Wigington in Yorkshire, owns his own gym, so gets plenty of time to train. Stuart Murray, the shortest man in the competition, but look at those arms, absolutely massive.
Lane 1, Alan Turner.
And finally, Alan Turner, the oldest man in the competition. Alan coming from Concert in County Durham.
I felt a little bit under pressure because I've heard a few people have put me down for favourite for this age, which I don't like. I'm just going to play my own game. I've got to play my own game, and hopefully I should do okay.
How well do you know this event?
Quite well. The ones I've used before have been a little bit higher off the ground, so it's more like a deadlift to start off with, then go. Just very explosive. There's no time. Just give it all you've got. That's all I've got to do.
First of all, you've got to get it up and get stable, and then just short steps. You overstride, your leg will go, you'll collapse. And that's your worst nightmare because you've got to pick it up again.
Sounds fun.
Why am I doing it? I don't know.
Referee Dougie Edmonds in charge as always. Johnny Kiss on this side. And here we go, and I tell you what, lifting these cylinders, well, it's like lifting a full refrigerator in each hand. They're absolutely massive. And it's Glenn Ross who gets there first. Well, we questioned his mobility down the course, but he's proving he can move as well as look very strong indeed. But Stuart Murray leads. The Scot has gone into the lead, chased by Glenn Ross and Alan Turner on the far side. Murray wins it, Ross in second. But who's going to get third? Alan Turner gets it on the far side. Well done to him. Those huge arms being put to good use today for Murray. Now then, who can get fourth place? It's Rob Dixon ahead of Colin Bryce, but here comes Colin Bryce. He's going to go past him. Or is he? Yes, he does. Bryce in fourth place. Rob Dixon really struggling, but where is Johnny Kiss? There he is in the red T-shirt. I think both of them will have given up. Johnny Kiss finding it desperately difficult. He's still having a go. And it's all over now. Johnny Kiss's first ever Britain's Strongest Man event in 6th place.
To be quite honest, I felt quite light. I've done heavier.
Quite light? Are you serious?
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at these big arms that helped you along the way. Fantastic.
And the boys will tell you, if I have a weak event in strength, it's a farmer's walk for distance. So I'm absolutely thrilled. I've worked hard on it in the last few months, trying to get my speed up, and it's come good today.
So less than a second in it, but Stuart Murray came out on top, although Glenn Ross is clearly in confident mood. Now, there are lots of trees at Alton Towers, some of them bigger than others. Well, lifting logs is a pretty serious business. You can jerk and you can push press this, but you can't dip or split it. I thought you ought to know that. And it's 380 kilograms, which in anybody's terms is a very big log.
John Inverdale absolutely right. The biggest log I think any of these men have ever seen, let alone lifted, and it's Johnny Kiss who's going to try first. It's on a pivot, so the actual weight they're feeling is around about 110 kilos. That's about 17 stones. You've got to have phenomenally strong arms to do this.
Left.
So referee Dougie Edmonds says get away, and he hasn't counted that first one, I think because of an excessive dip on his legs. So Johnny Kiss, that's 4 repetitions. And this guy who trains with former World's Strongest Man, Welshman Gary Taylor, both prison officers, and you wouldn't mess with these two guys, would you? Johnny Kiss going pretty well, finishing last in the first event, so he needs very good points here if he's going to stay in the hunt for a place in the final. This is good from Johnny Kiss. He's gone up to 12. Can he squeeze one more out? Oh, he's come to a resting position on his shoulders. Come on, just one more, that is it. But I think he's enjoyed this event. A much more confident event for Johnny Kiss.
Pressing's more my sort of forte. From the powerlifting background, I enjoy this a lot more, especially from this morning.
Rob Dixon.
Get ready.
A phenomenal target by Johnny Kiss that he's got to go for. Well, referee Dougie Edmonds has given him that one. Just a little bit of a dip with the knees. I suppose he's letting him get away with that. But imagine 16.5 stones. If you had a 16.5 stone man and you try to push him over your head as many times as possible, that's how difficult it is. The balance is crucial too. And he's going well. 12 the target. He's equal to it. And he goes into the lead. 5th in the last event. So this looks much, much better for Rob Dixon. Dixon, the Yorkshireman. Oh, he's faltered there, but 16 repetitions, a big smile on his face. He's done very well indeed. A little bit phased by the experience perhaps, but that was phenomenal.
Well, 2 of the guys found the going really tough. Colin Bryce managed only 8 repetitions, and things were even harder for Alan Turner, just the 6 from him.
Now the big man, Glenn Ross, 2nd in the first event, so has already got a valuable 5 points.
Get ready.
And I really do think Glenn Ross fancies his chances here. Oh, look at that, it's so easy. No dip of the legs, just shoulder and arm strength. Well, we questioned his speed in the first event. There was nothing wrong there. I wonder how his endurance is. 180 kilograms he weighs. And there's his wife, a newborn baby. He's got tremendous support, and already he's a great favourite with the crowd. Now remember, he's chasing the lead of 16 repetitions by Rob Dixon. goes past Johnny Kiss. There's only Stuart Murray to go in this event. And Glenn Ross, can he get the last one? Yes, he can. He goes into the lead. He's going to go for even more, to make it even more difficult for Stuart Murray, and he's done it. That is incredible. 18 repetitions. I don't know whether anybody has ever done that before. Glenn Ross is going to be tough to beat, that is for sure.
I found difficult even just to get underneath it, to start it. But once I was in, it wasn't too bad. And I was very pleased.
I still think though that Stuart fancies his chances in this one.
Well, Stuart is a very good shoulder presser. Very, very good. He's improved a lot in the log this year. And I mean, I'm thinking on the way, I'm still watching, we'll watch him.
I'm sure he will be watching him very carefully. Stuart Murray, well under 6 feet tall, but those arms of his are bigger than most people's legs.
Down, Stuart.
They're way, way over 20 inches around the circumference of his biceps and his triceps. Murray from Colside in Dumfries in Scotland. Slowly but steadily. Rob Dixon in second place with 16 repetitions. Now then, Johnny Kiss has got 12, Colin Bryce 8 and Alan Turner 6.
Hey, medal, Stuart.
Murray is going well. Glenn Ross was a little faster, but that doesn't matter. Oh, he's struggling a wee bit. I think Glenn Ross has got it in the bag. But still, the Irishman cheering on the Scotsman. That's it. That is a big surprise. Stuart Murray is going to finish down in 4th place. Northern Ireland gets it through Glenn Ross. Ross's first victory of this second heat.
So disappointing for Stuart Murray, just the 11 repetitions there. Glenn Ross and Rob Dixon out on their own. And all that means that the Irishman is now in the box seat at the halfway stage of this Heat 2.
1 point behind the leader going into that event, 2 points ahead now. That's pretty good.
Well, today I had to do the business today, you know, and I've done it, you know, because tomorrow is for the fit boys. But like I said, I've been working on my fitness, and I've already surprised them this year in my fitness, how fit I am. But it was a crowd that done it, I think, today, the cheering and everything. Fabulous set in Alton Towers and that, and I'm enjoying the competition.
Well, this is Yvonne Ross, and her husband's called Glenn, and he's in this competition, and he's very big, and this is his sweatshirt, and we're both in it. So, if you're sort of buying clothes for him, you can't just sort of nip down to the local, you know, mainstream store and just say, I want 4 shirts, can you?
No, not at all, because at home, nobody knows really what a big man is. A big man at home is like a 56-inch chest. Glenn's like a 64-inch chest. I have to send away for catalogues over the water, Scotland, England, but at home it's nearly impossible.
What about around the thighs and sort of trouser size?
Very, very big trousers. I can't remember exactly his leg measurement, but that's like the biggest part of him.
What is the best thing about being married to somebody of his build?
He makes you look thinner when you're walking aside. He's great for carrying luggage too, so he is, and moving furniture and stuff like that. But no, the really good thing about it is getting to see the world and coming to all these competitions and staying in really nice hotels and having a bit of fun.
And you're pretty proud of him?
Oh, I am dead proud of him, so I am. Yeah.
Excellent. How are we going to get out of this, do you think?
I don't know.
Who gets out first? Maybe we're bound together forever.
I think Glenn might have something to say about that.
From a sweater to more sweating. Back to the action, and can Glenn Ross hang on to his lead here in the courtyard? This is a new event for Britain's strongest man, the loading race. Barrels, sacks, anchors, chains, put them all on the wall.
Alan Turner, England.
Alan Turner on the right-hand side. A third place in the first event and last in the last event. Colin Bryce needs to win this one if he's got any hope at all of making it through to the final. Come to that, he's probably got to win the last one too.
Ready? On the whistle.
So here we go, the sack weighing 60 kilos, just short of 10 stones, and both men sprinting. Bryce is first. Alan Turner, the oldest man in the competition, so I wonder what his endurance is like. Then, the barrel, 75 kilos. It's not so much the weight, it's how awkward it is. This is a real thinking game. Alan Turner deciding to go sideways with that log. It's very, very awkward. Weighs over 16 stones, and Bryce has thought it out a little better. But Turner is still in the lead. Now the anchor. Weighs 100 kilos, but look at it. The shape is very, very awkward. Bryce is behind at the moment. Alan Turner having his best event so far, and now this awesome chain. 190 kilos. Over 30 stones, and all of it has got to go onto the platform, and this is where Turner is failing. Bryce has got it 59 seconds or thereabouts. It could be even quicker. Turner's still got a bit of work to do, but that was phenomenal by Colin Bryce on the far side. He's got to get the whole thing on. There it is, 1 minute 12 seconds, and Turner is absolutely exhausted.
I think it'll be quite a hard time to beat, but we'll see.
Now, athleticism is obviously very important. You're a bit of an athlete. What sort of training should you be doing for something like this?
Oh, you know, any kind of aerobic work, fitness work. I do a lot of sprint training, about 90 seconds, and that was just perfect. Just hitting the wall, just to the last moment there.
But this could be a big comeback for you.
6 points in this, 6 points in the next. I'll go through as first place.
Well, I think if Johnny Kiss hit the wall, he'd probably knock it over. Stuart Murray as well. An important event for both of these fellas now. Johnny Kiss on the left-hand side, Stuart Murray about the same height, but Johnny Kiss a couple of stones heavier. What a fantastic target set by Colin Bryce, 57.31 seconds. Very quick for both men. On the sack, now the barrel. Johnny Kiss going well here. Stuart Murray just about a second behind. Now then, this is one of the most awkward objects. Stuart Murray really has got incredibly strong arms. Coming up to the half minute, 27 seconds left if either of them want to go into the lead. Now, which way are we going to get this up? Sideways or head on? Stuart Murray catching up just a little bit. It's Scotland at the moment, ahead of the Middlesex man. Oh, this is a real stumbling block for Johnny Kiss, and Stuart Murray is outside of Colin Bryce's time. So Bryce still in the lead, with only 2 men to go after this. Now come on, Stuart, you've got to get that final link of the chain up. And has he got it? Yes, he has. Stuart Murray round about 72 seconds. Come to think of it, that was Alan Turner's time as well, so the stopwatches here are going to be critical. Oh, Johnny Kiss, well, it was a valiant effort with the first 3 objects, but the anchor and the chain have proved very difficult indeed. The whistle goes, time has run out for Johnny Kiss. Oh my goodness, he's in all sorts of trouble. Scotsmen are pretty good at this. We've got Colin Bryce in first place, but you're in second now, so not a bad event for you.
No, I thought I would do okay at that. I just need to keep in front of Rob Dixon. So I hope my time will be faster than his. We'll just have to wait and see.
The final pairing, big Glenn Ross. On this side, weighs what? He's getting on for 30 stones against Rob Dixon.
For me in particular, it's a bit of a thinking game. They're not all the same objects, as you'll see, they're all different ones, so I've got to think what I'm doing, not just speed, it's think as well.
So how are you going to approach this one?
Just go all out for it, really. I'm usually very good at loading events, as long as they're heavy, and there's a couple of heavy things here today, so hopefully it should be my foray and I'll go out and win it, you know.
You've still got to convince me you're built for endurance, but there's a lot of endurance in this one, isn't there?
Just watch and see.
Well, I'm not going to argue with Glenn Ross. He's too big for that. Ross on the right-hand side. Oh, almost a false start there by Rob Dixon. He's so eager to get this event underway. I think he fancies his chances here. Dixon by a whisker from Glenn Ross. Now the barrel. 75 kilos, nearly 14 stones. Glenn Ross is a few seconds behind already. Dixon is going well, the Yorkshireman. Oh, Glenn Ross now then. Dixon said it was a thinking man's game, and that was a good move by Glenn Ross. That was very quick with the pole. And this is where Johnny Kiss had all sorts of problems. Has Rob Dixon done enough thinking? Yes, he has. This is fast. Colin Bryce's time of 57.31 could be under threat, and he knows it. Glenn Ross is going pretty well. I take back all I said about his endurance. That doesn't seem to be a factor at the moment, and Colin Bryce has won it. Oh, it was so close. But this is Rob Dixon's best result so far, just outside 60 seconds. Glenn Ross having a bit of a problem. And he's got it. But that is a slow time for the Irishman. He could be down in about 5th place. And actually the doctor is going towards him just to make sure the big man is okay.
Well, victory for Colin Bryce puts him right back in it, but Glenn Ross, down in 5th, must be a worried man with one event to go, because any 2 of the top 4 can now make it through to the final.
Now, I'm sure you've done your homework. It's only a win that's important here, isn't it?
Yeah, I woke up this morning, I needed 2 firsts. I've got 1, I'm going to get my 2nd, hopefully. If I don't, well, that's... no excuses.
You're not going to be watching any of the other competitors, though. It's just eyeballs out all the way.
Yeah, I hope I'm going to be in the first part of the heat, and I'm going to set the running. So hopefully they'll have to catch me, and they'll make the mistakes.
So this is the medley event. Carrying a weight, flipping tyres, and loading barrels. And with just 2 points separating the top 4, anything could happen here.
It's absolutely incredible what has happened overnight. Colin Bryce way down after the first 2 events. That victory has brought him right back into this competition. Alan Turner right next to him, then Johnny Kiss. But it's all about this man. If he can win this event, he's got a real chance of going through to the final.
The whistle.
200 kilograms first of all, and Bryce is away. The Scotsman, whose father used to be the Scottish record holder for the hammer, went to the Commonwealth Games, and his son has followed in his footsteps, throwing heavy things around as though they were feathers. Johnny Kiss too is going well. Alan Turner's got some work to do. He's in 3rd place at the moment. Bryce on his way with the first barrel. 2 more to go. It's all about the stopwatch now. And 3 big men will go in the 2nd heat. Now come on, Colin, you've got a real chance. Johnny Kiss just outside 40 seconds. Alan Turner struggling a wee bit. Bryce is finished. Just over 47 seconds. Fantastic time again. And he's beaten the other 2 by a mile. Johnny Kiss has still got 1 more barrel to go. Alan Turner too. There'll be a huge cheer for these 2 entertainers when they're finished. Johnny Kiss has finished 64 seconds or thereabouts. Great experience for him. I'm sure he'll be another one who'll be back next year, bigger and stronger than ever. Giving Alan Turner all the encouragement. Oh. These last few steps must be agony, but he's done it. Colin Bryce was incredible, though. 47 seconds. That is phenomenal.
Well, it had to be phenomenal. Rob's very good at this. So I think Rob could do it yet, though, so I haven't counted my chickens yet.
Rob, you obviously saw what Colin did. It was a phenomenal time, wasn't it?
Impressive. Very impressive,
So
yeah.
what do you have to do now to make it through to the final?
To beat him. I think I have to beat him. Count back, he'll beat me.
I know exactly what I've got to do, but I'm not giving it away at the moment.
You're not?
I don't need to beat Colin's time. I know who I've got to beat to get through.
Who is it?
Well, we'll see.
Well, in terms of Stuart Murray's efforts here, he's got to stay ahead of Rob Dixon, that's for sure. Former world's strongest man, Yuko Ahala, one of the spectators, and there's Jamie Reeves, another former world's strongest man. There's some big fellas here, but this guy is the biggest, Glenn Ross. This event is absolutely crucial. It's all about mathematics and the stopwatch now.
Take your grip on the whistle.
Here we go. Oh, Glenn Ross stumbling. He's back on his feet and going well, and on the far side, Rob Dixon going well too. Stuart Murray in third place at the moment. Rob Dixon the first to lift that tyre, and Glenn Ross the first to flip it. Dixon has got to stay ahead of Glenn Ross and Stuart Murray. Effectively, they've all got to beat Colin Bryce to make sure. Here goes Glenn Ross, he's on first, Stuart Murray second, Rob Dixon third. This is a fabulous climax to Heat 2 of Britain's Strongest Man. It's so close. Here goes Glenn Ross. Surely he's in the final now. I don't think Rob Dixon or Stuart Murray will make it. Colin Bryce has won the final event, and he will go through with Glenn Ross.
There's room for a fat one in this final.
Well, it's a brave man who would call Glenn Ross fat, that's for sure.
Well, a good day for the fat man, but it was always going to be tight. Colin Bryce's marvellous final day, though, meant that he was the man of the moment.
I wouldn't have turned up if I hadn't have thought I had a chance. I said I was the dark horse, and you know, I was probably a little darker than I really led on. But I mean, everything's fallen my way today.
But you're through to the final. You won the heat. That's the most important thing.
Well, outright.
Outright.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Going to win the final now. It's all big stuff for a big man.
So Ireland's strongest man through to the final of Britain's strongest man, along with Colin Bryce. Huge disappointment for Stuart Murray and Rob Dixon, which means that we have 4 finalists so far, 2 Scotsmen, an Irishman and a Yorkshireman. So we're halfway through our quest to find Britain's strongest man here at Alton Towers. 4 down, 4 more to find. Hope to see you again next time.
And that next heat is tomorrow night at 7 here on BBC One. Next tonight, the tough guys of Albert Square are looking a little bit shaky.